Talking to someone shouldn't be a paid service. I recently came across a site ran by an influencer who charged $9 for just 8 DMs. The people who buy something like that are most certainly very lonely individuals. As a society, we advance so far in technology that genuine socialization has become optional or even difficult for many. In the early days of the American West, most people lived on isolated homesteads or farms. Trips into town for supplies, mail, and church services weren't just practical necessities, they were also vital opportunities for human connection. Neighbors caught up at the general store, shared news at the post office, or unwound together at the local saloon. These interactions helped combat the social isolation of the frontier life. Today, the natural social friction has largely disappeared. Our smartphones act like a drug, keeping us captive in our own homes. We scroll endlessly, chasing whatever feels good in the moment. We glimpse at an attractive stranger online, build an elaborate fantasy around them, and use those daydreams to temporarily fill the emotional void, all without ever having to risk real world interaction. But the void we're trying to fill isn't new. Humans have always needed each other. What changed is how easy it's become to avoid those beautiful messes of real connection. We've traded the warmth of eye contact, nervousness of a first hello, and the laughter that only happens when you're standing shoulder to shoulder for perfectly curated pixels. Imagine that you want to get a date. What is the first thing that comes to your mind? It's probably that you would download Tinder, Bumble, or Hinge. Not sponsored, by the way. Now, I want you to imagine if it was different. Imagine you wanted to get a date, so you went by your local coffee shop and you asked that pretty barista if she wanted to go on a date. That sounds terrifying, right? Well, that's exactly how it used to be. There wasn't a magic app that we could download and have a match within a few minutes. You had to ask things face to face. And honestly, it was better that way. There was no algorithm deciding who's worthy to have your swipe. There was no waiting days for a response, or someone just immediately denying you because you have a picture holding the largemouth bass that you caught. My point is, people are being judgmental of a screen, just a handful of photos and a couple lines of text. Instead of accepting the actual person someone can be, they have this fantasy that they build of them online, and they go based off of that. You don't get to know someone on a date anymore. You get to know them by their profiles on social media. That's a sad place to be. We don't get to know someone through talking to them or taking them out on a date or even hanging out with them. We get to know them through their bios and the memes that they share on their social media account. It often leaves you feeling unseen, like you were never heard or given a fair chance to even be known by anyone. You end up doing the same thing. You build these fantasies of what someone could be to relieve that loneliness. And that's exactly what the fantasy does. It promises a relief from the loneliness. But usually it just makes the headache sharper when the reality doesn't match the dream that you have. I think that we should put our phones down and just enjoy life. Enjoy what you have. Go out and talk to someone. Anyway, that's about it. See ya.